John Wesley Hardin. Ottis Toole. Texas and Florida always have had a lot in common, in particular their propensity for breeding and distributing psychopaths. The Jacksonville cannibal was a Florida native who formed a Bonnie and Clyde sort of relationship with his lover and fellow serial killer Henry Lee Lucas. The two traveled the country butchering people, setting them on fire, and yes, even eating them. Though he wasn't a Texas native, Toole did plenty of heinous things in Texas. Toole's most notable victim was a young boy named Adam Walsh, the same John Walsh who, following the death of his son, created a television show called America's Most Wanted. More Ottis Toole. 119 of 130 famous American serial killers. 35 of 61 the scariest serial killers in history. 11 of 11 we asked, you answered. Which serial killer, living or dead, would you want to be pen pals with? Faryion Wardrip. The Killing Fields Murderer. Texas City may be the most brutal place in the state, and that's saying something. The stretch of Interstate 45 that runs through the place is known as the Highway to Hell, notorious for both its high rate of traffic accidents and the fact that it inspired an AC/DC song. The Killing Fields, a Calder oil field about a mile away, isn't exactly radio-friendly song material. Since the 1970s, the bodies of over 30 women, mostly young girls aged 10 to 25, have been found buried there. It's speculated that many are the work of a single killer. Edward Howard Bell claimed in 1998 to have murdered 11 of the girls, but was only convicted of 1. The rest of the murders and a staggering number of nearby disappearances remain unsolved. David Leonard Wood. William Suff. The Lake Elsinore Killer is one of the most textbook cases of serial murder in American history. From 1974 to 1991, Suff raped, beat, strangled, and stabbed at least 13, probably more than 20 women in California and Texas. Even worse, all of those murders occurred after Suff was released from prison for beating his infant child to death. He was sentenced to 70 years in 1974, but was then released on parole after 10 years. He was barely out of prison for 18 months before going on his decade-long murder spree. Maturino Resndiz. More Maturino Resndiz. 97 of 130 famous American serial killers. 17 of 29 the last words of 30 famous serial killers. 23 of 41 the most prolific American serial killers. Corll. Eugene Watts. Servant Girl Annihilator. Before Jack the Ripper began his spree in England, the killer known as the Servant Girl Annihilator terrorized Texas like a demonic tall tale. Around New Year's of 1885, at least 7 women and 1 man woke up being dragged out of their beds before being stabbed to death. While the crime remains technically unsolved, a 19-year-old named Nathan Elgin is strongly suspected. Elgin had connections to all the victims, a club foot that matched a footprint found at one of the scenes, and he was shot to death in March of 1886 while attempting to stab a woman to death. More 11 of 15 the most terrifying serial killers who were never caught. 9 of 12 creepy unsolved mysteries from Texas. 9 of 28 serial killers who were never caught. Joe Ball. More Joe Bowl 2 of 130 famous American serial killers, 58 of 61 the scariest serial killers in history, 6 of 17 the most notorious serial killers from Texas. Corll, Charles Albright. The Phantom Killer.
Hey guys, thank you so much for your support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.